Hey everybody, and welcome back to Elden Dogs, your favorite podcast about Elden Ring and secret homeless alcohol drinking friends, and you shouldn't have drank that woman, Silver Tear.
Yep. Sometimes you need to show some self-control.
Just say no to drinking things from strangers.
That was part of the DARE program when I was in middle school. I don't know about you.
When I walked into DARE, the guy goes,
You should actually really try it.
alcohol's a lady I like. I dare you to drink it. His name was Ben Cohen's. If you're listening, Ben Cohen's, that makes no sense because you taught me DARE and you were old at the time. So, welcome if you're here. My name is Sir Gideon Offnear, the all-drinking, the all-fun-loving, I'm tired of caring too much. I'm going to be a fun-loving guy these days.
And I'm Alexander Iron Fist.
Say what?
And you know what? Kind of looking forward to being shattered all the way. I've been reanimated for a few episodes.
You get shattered a lot these days.
I'm leaking something awful.
I had too much to fight last night. Does anyone have any tape? We are part of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Check out all those other amazing shows. So, we're back to discuss more content that is fascinating and interesting, but for one reason or other, was removed from the game. I never get tired of reading this. At the top of the episode, I want to give a big special thanks to the content creators who did the hard work of not only finding it, but making YouTube videos for me to watch and understand. Content creators such as Sekiro Dubi, Lance McDonald, Garden of Ice, Stratek, VaatiVidya, and Bonfireside Chat. I don't need to thank them. I just love those guys. They're great.
Not all heroes wear capes.
They're not the cut content people, but they've mentioned it before, so you're in. You guys are in. If you're listening, I love you. Congratulations. So, yes, cut content. There is still more to discuss. One of my favorite little fellows we're going to start with, down in the Lake of Rot. Now, you remember that one little ancestral follower just kind of walking around real lost in the lake?
Yeah.
He fell off the boat and his friends just left him down there.
Yep.
So originally, the ancestral followers would be all outside of the cloister, that little temple, instead of the pests, the scarlet rot pests, the little bug boys. It would have been a bunch of dancing ancestral followers, variation, which were like the scarlet rot versions where they were just gaping wounds and kind of think, from the movie It, the boy who's afraid of wounds. And
that I just watched It again.
Yeah?
Like 3 days ago.
Never have I seen a movie with a more botched sequel than It. It 1, perfect. It 2, the most overblown sense of grandiosity it didn't need.
Yeah, it's also a movie that is like designed. It's a story that's designed for 2 parts, but I feel like the back half of it always sucks. The book wasn't.
It could have been done well.
Yeah, well, it's got Bill Hader who shines.
He shines. He's one of the only shining parts of that.
Yeah, Bill Hader's great. The part where he gets lost in the lights and he just like...
To have James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain seem not utilized is sad.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
We had ourselves a little Scarlet Rot ancestral follower down there. We are going to talk a little bit about version 1.0 differences. Day 1. So there's a lot more of this later, but day 1, a big patch comes in and changes a whole bunch of stuff. So even after things were printed on the disc, they said, oh, no. We got to change some things. So Lane Dell version 1.0 was actually quite different. The forces of the Erd Tree haven't gained control of the capital, so there's a little bit of fighting between factions inside of Lane Dell. Banished Knights are roaming the streets. There are 2 tree avatars patrolling the main road instead of 1, so...
That's a W for us.
No, it's a bad thing.
I don't want to fight 2 of them.
Well, there's 2 of them in original, and then it just went down to 1.
Yeah, I'm okay with 1.
Oh, okay, so it's a win.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a win for us.
I see what you're saying. There's no Oracle Envoys, which Oracle Envoys are there to herald the age of a new god, so I guess they just didn't get the memo yet. They were sleeping in. And Fia's bed was not there next to Lionel's set.
Need that.
We'll talk a little bit about Fia later. Gold Mask speaks in the original.
Don't need that.
Cut dialogue. It's cut dialogue. It's not like 1.0, but yeah, it's a lot. I don't have the audio because it wasn't worth getting.
Well, I think it was just like, what's his face from Hot Fuzz, where he's just like, yarp, narp.
Or another character in Hot Fuzz where it's Argus Filch. He's like, bro.
Yeah.
It's that. When you tell Goldmask that Radagon is America, he goes, he just like has a little mumble under his breath. I don't have the audio here because I couldn't imagine anything less meaningful than
He squeaks.
He squeaks. One of the videos I watched, like, did he say this? I'm like, maybe, but you're really jumping to conclusions.
Reading too much into it, buddy.
I think he probably just sharded himself a little bit when he found out, and that was a sound we heard. We don't know. But Gold Mask apparently did speak. This one's fun. So, Shanehaight. You know our friend Kenneth Haight?
Yeah.
There was another one.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, dear God. Now, sadly, the audio doesn't exist for Shanehaight. But we have the written word, and it's pretty fun. Shanehaight was a noble from Lanedell who presents himself as Viscount of House Shanehaight. Shanehaight is the full name. It's not like Shanehaight, so it's weird, but looks like an older Kenneth Haight. They seem to be an omen killer, and they ask you to kill omens in the Lanedell Undercity. So here's some of the dialogue. They say, "Welcome, dear guest. After being out there, it must be quite surprising to see our capital cradled by the Erd Tree, showered by an eternal wellspring of grace. Oh, I didn't notice you were tarnished. Get the fuck out of here." I'm paraphrasing. "You must leave the capital at once. It is for your own good, I assure you. All things have their proper place. We, having been chosen by grace, were given this golden capital. You, on the other hand, have your own home, which is a far cry from here."
He basically just tells you to get to the back of the bus.
He's like, yeah. He doesn't like us.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us there. And it's just for rich people.
We are the 1%.
Oh, you smell bad.
I heard you shorted GameStop, and that's just you trying to be us.
Oh, you must leave now.
We control the housing market. We will be rich forever.
These bastards.
I don't know if any of that's true. That's my knowledge of stocks.
I think so, but it's also my knowledge of stocks. So he says this to us, but he also says, "The shattering caused a great many fools to overstep their bounds. The impudence led to insurgency against Morgott, Lord of Grace." He's super hot for Morgott. "They raised an army and sought to lay siege to this sacred ground. Their attempt to defile the capital failed, and while we reveled in eternal grace, the traitors were eyed by the grotesque fell omen, and their corpses piled high outside the wall. You don't belong here." I like that he's saying, dude, Morgott's so hot right now, and he's definitely not an omen.
Yeah. And if you don't leave, he's going to kill you.
He's so like, omens suck. I would never like an omen, but Morgott's like, he doesn't know Morgott's an omen.
So, egg on his face.
You're about to feel really dumb there, Shane.
Yeah.
For some reason, you need a gold pickled fowl foot, which for some reason is hard to fucking say.
Gold pickled fowl foot?
Gold pickled fowl foot.
It's a delicacy in Alabama.
I would eat it.
A gold pickled fowl.
It's like a duck foot.
Yeah.
I
Pickled,
guess,
though?
Is there a lot of meat on a duck foot? What is a duck foot made out of?
Rubber.
Rubber.
It's something you can get at Salt Bay's restaurant. Cost a whole bunch of money.
Is Salt Bay still a thing?
He is, and he's not doing great.
Because he's a meme.
Yeah, and his restaurants suck, and they got a bunch of like bad reviews.
You can't exist on being a meme. Some people can. That one guy who makes the face is now in Fortnite, which is the weirdest thing I've seen.
You know what though?
Good for him.
Yeah, you got a talent. You ride it.
Dude, you had one face and you made millions of dollars on it. My face has made $0 for me.
Yeah.
Maybe got a couple tips. We don't know. But you need a gold pickled fowl foot to start this quest. And he goes, "Well, what do we have here?" Wow. That's exactly how he would have sounded. He says, "You hunt omen, do you? Well then, perhaps we can talk. Very well. I permit you to stay in the capital for the time being. He's like, bitch, I was here. But okay, thank you.
You're going to remove me? You in what army?
Oh, nice little robe you have there. Have you seen my fucking omen armor I'm wearing? Whatever I got on. I permit you to stay in the capital for the time being. And in the name of the House of Shanehaight, which carries no weight anymore, buddy. Nobody cares.
Yep.
I beseech you to hunt down the foul omen. The under capital is a repository of waste. For ages it's teemed with repulsive omen, fiendlings even, who've never lost a horn. They've taken to bellowing in a most blood-curdling manner. You can hear it all the way up here. Really doesn't like omen. He says, go to the sewers, kill some omen. Are we drinking another delicious beer from Oak Brewing?
We are drinking another delicious beer from Oak Brewing.
What do we got here?
This is Oak Brewing Company out of West Dallas, Wisconsin.
Or as they say here,
Stalis.
Stalis. Dirty Stalis.
Dirty. It says Stalis on the can.
Yeah, that's because Oak knows who they are.
Yeah. This is Didn't See You There.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Oops.
It is a hazy IPA, and it took second place at Third Space IPA Fest this year, which I worked. So I was there when it happened. It was very exciting.
This is a great hazy.
This is a delicious beer. It's one of my favorite hazies of all time, so I had to include it.
I find it wonderful. Oak Brewing has been knocking it out of the park lately.
We make real good beer over there. I don't personally make it, but I sell it.
But you brought it here.
Yep.
And for that, I permit you to enjoy the capital of this converted bedroom to a podcast studio.
Hey!
The royal capital, I call it.
Is Martin an omen?
Martin the Fell Kitty. So yeah, he says, get down there and defeat some omen for me. And you go down and you defeat some omen. And he says, oh, you must have expunged the omen from the repository. Otherwise, their revolting screeches would still be affronting my ears. It's like, dude, calm down a little bit.
Can you not try to sound smart and just say what you believe?
You sound really racist right
Thanks
now.
Thanks for killing that thing that I couldn't kill because I'm a pussy, is what I heard.
I allowed this to happen. He says the Erd bishops will be very pleased to hear it. I think this is the only time I've ever heard Erd bishop as a thing. And it got me really excited. I'm like, is there Erd everything?
Yeah.
Yep. Hi, I'm an Erd officer. Can you pull over?
Do you have any idea how fast you were going?
Call the Erd fire department.
I'm an Erd pawn. I hope to be a bishop one day.
Just Erd everything.
But I can only attack diagonally.
I have not a good chance here, but if you're over there diagonally from me, fucking...
Dude, you're in danger.
Watch out.
Look out, man.
Look out. Bible bonkers. He says the Erd bishops will be very pleased to hear it. He says, no, this is above their station. If I explained this was all my idea, I could be granted an audience with Morgott, Lord of Grace, that a viscount as myself might be seen by the Lord of Grace.
To be a fly on the wall when he realizes.
And he says, oh, very sorry. Almost forgot you were here. This Shanehaight heirloom has been held for generations. Now, it seems like he hands you a placeholder item because I think it's just like a glowing stone or something. He hands you a piece of bullshit, but maybe it's also him just saying, fuck off. I forgot you were here. I was so excited to go talk to him. But you come back. You reload and you come back. It seems he's met the Lord of Grace.
Never meet your heroes.
Kill our Lord! Kill him! He is a stain upon all things golden. Kill Morgott, kingly impostor. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, did somebody realize the world's not as pretty as he thought it was? Oh, I'm sorry, Shanehaight.
Oh, you're an idiot.
You suck, sir. And you can fuck off, in the words of... what's that? Small Town Murder. You, sir, can fuck off.
James Petrogello.
I've always preferred Jimmy Wistman.
Jimmy
Wistman. If y'all are listening, we love you.
Yeah. You, sir, can fuck off. Life in prison. And then that's when Jimmy usually goes, yay!
But different, actually. No life in prison for this fucker.
Death.
Now, in the final game, the armor that he was wearing, we find in the Altus Plateau on a caravan surrounded by omen. He was killed by omen by the Altus Plateau. And yeah, no life in prison. This dude's fucking dead. You love to see it. You love to see it. Up next, we have A little pit stop, though. The Golden Order Greatsword. Now, we find this greatsword with the Misbegotten Crusader. Now, this is on the Consecrated Snowfield. Do you remember that fun dungeon where it was like you're walking on the ice?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, a Misbegotten is carrying Radagon's fucking personal sword. And it's like, why are you holding this?
How did you get that?
What's going on here? So what's fun is that in the AI files, this enemy is called Chimera JS Leotype. Now, depending on variation, it could be base type or scale type. In older text, they used to be called the Radagon Chimera. And the winged aberration Ash's original description was summons the spirit of a Radagon Chimera. They have red hair. There's a leonine misbegotten arena, which is referred to as Radagon's Lion Summoning Arena. And the Cave of Forlorn is coded as Radagon's Children's Cave. So apparently, originally, the Misbegotten were somehow offshoots of Radagon.
That's interesting.
This is one of those things where it's not really like an answer, but another question.
Yeah, how the fuck does that happen?
That dude fucked a Misbegotten. You fuck one Misbegotten.
Everybody calls you
Goat fucker.
Yes.
It seemed like they would have been an offshoot of his godliness somehow at some point. Or we don't know. But that would possibly explain a little bit to why a Misbegotten is carrying the sword, since it might have been Radagon's kid or related. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Oh, Elden Ring. Elden Ring. You went and did it again. You made some weird shit that no one knows about.
Oh, the secrets you keep.
Oh, Elden Ring. So up next, we have some cut information about Melania.
Okay.
Now, Melania is, of course, everyone's favorite boss. They love fighting her.
It's totally not hard.
Not hard at all. I wish we had this audio, but we don't. Melania was to have said, "Sweet tarnished, dearest companion, do you not heed my warning? Your greed knows no end. You would steal the last drop of warmth from his empty frame. After all you've taken, you still want more."
You realize he's gone, right?
You realize that I killed the dude who was holding him in an egg.
But he is no longer here.
He was Michael Jacksoning sleeping next to him. We don't know what that entails.
You can infer what you believe.
Now,
but I do believe the evidence is there.
But Moog made Thriller. So we're going to give him a pass here.
You can separate the artist from the art.
Thriller.
It's a motion picture.
It's interesting that Melania was talking with us at some point. It seemed like she was a little bit more composed or able to understand what was going on. Or maybe she thinks we're Moog. Maybe that's what's going on. She says you took his last drop of warmth. Maybe that's all it was. It's just interesting. Cut dialogue from Melania. That's not just horror film.
Yeah, but I'm okay with just the horror film.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, also, there was a version where Melania would have been Millicent undercover the whole time. Or Millicent would have been Melania undercover, I should clarify.
Millicent would have been Melania undercover. That gets confusing to a game that has already hurt my brain.
It's already hurting our brains.
By this point in the playthrough.
But allegedly, Millicent would have whole time been Melania kind of following us. And there's some other like 1.0 differences that we'll get to a little bit later. But yeah, she would have been Millicent undercover, which would maybe put a neater bow on Millicent's quest line of Gowry saying we need her to get there. Maybe Melania hadn't been carried by the Clean Rot Knight Finley all the way there. And instead, we helped her get back to the Halig Tree. And maybe that's when she discovered Mikola was gone.
That would have been a nice little twist, actually, now that I think about it.
It would have been a neater story around Melania. And honestly, the thought of one Clean Rot Knight carrying Melania the whole way back, That sounds tough too.
Yeah.
Sounds like a tough one. But it's interesting that there was some more around Melania originally. So Moog had an unused quest file. There's no audio or anything for this, but at one point there was an option to join Moog's Covenant. He made Thriller.
I mean, yeah.
Yep. I'm in the Jackson fan club. I'll fuck with that.
I'm going to hear him out.
Doesn't matter if you're blood or white.
That's perfect.
That was bad.
That was good. Just drink it.
That was my silver tier. That wasn't me. Okay. Yeah, he would say, "Will you become my subordinate? Will you make an oath? Are you really gonna fucking join my squad?" And you do.
When you're like, yeah, he's like, well really, that worked?
Well, for real?
Hold on, that's never worked on anybody.
Do you know who I am?
Can we take a picture?
Are you sure? Okay.
I can't tell if you're nodding because I have a horn in my eye.
It's like in Turtles, the new Turtles movie, which you probably haven't seen.
I have not.
Superfly's like, I thought you were cool. I thought we were going to be friends. And it's Ice Cube talking to the kids. It's pretty funny. It's an okay movie. I give Turtles, the new kids one, whatever it's called, a solid 6 out of 10.
That's a good, for a kid's movie, that's solid.
If you're a kid, 8 out of 10. At one point, Lanciax was going to appear in Far Missoula in front of Malekith instead of the tree guardian warrior knight, whatever he was, that mounted one.
Yep, that tracks.
It was going to be a dragon Lanciax. I'm glad she wasn't there.
That would have been I would have cried.
A tight arena. But before we go any further, something that I find very helpful when I'm doing my research is Magic Mind. Magic Mind is an energy supplement that I love to use. They're our sponsor for this episode today. And once I started using Magic Mind, I found it very hard to go back.
For me, it is a nice way. I think the biggest benefit is avoiding that midday crash. As somebody who has a very hard time getting up in the morning, I'm a noon guy. I don't get up unless the time is in the quadruple digits. Mm-hmm. But for days that I have to get up early, I rely on caffeine a lot, which means midday, I crash a lot. Taking this with my caffeine, not drinking more caffeine or less than I normally drink, has helped me stay awake and feel refreshed longer midday, which leaves me more productive to work on podcasts, and I'm better at work. I'm writing more, so it's a nice little kick in the shorts.
Magic Mind, it kind of feels like how a rune bear must feel. Fully powered, aggressive, ready to take on any challenge. We're big fans of Magic Mind. And it helps prevent my midday crash, and it helps me stay focused when I'm trying to do a 40-page outline. This helps. And if you want to try Magic Mind yourself, we have a great offer for you. We have a great discount we can offer for our listeners. Just go to magicmind.com/DC and use discount code DOGCAST20 to get up to 56% off your first purchase. It's great. And yeah, we recommend a subscription. It's the best value. And once you try it, you're going to want to keep doing it. One of the things that I love about it is the matcha. It tastes great, and you can put it in your coffee. You can put it into some of your tea, whatever you want to drink. It's a great way to keep you focused, to keep you in the game, like those rune bears. If you want to go toe-to-toe with them, you need this stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to succeed without it.
Go to www.magicmind.com/DC and use discount code DOGCAST20. Godfrey originally had an extended speech before his battle. We're going to hear that now.
Ooh, fun.
More Godfrey is a good thing.
Yes.
Brave Tarnished, thy campaign hath been well fought. Dearest Marika is precisely what I must take back. Do not fear, dear Erdtree. Thy rescue is near. Do not fear, dear Marika. I am returned, and upon my name as Godfrey, as the first Elden Lord. O Marika, I will take thee in mine arms once more.
I like that.
More Godfrey's always good.
It's interesting hearing him talking about America in an affectionate sense. I will hold you in my arms once again. I'm here to save you, America.
That is cool.
It's got a romantic element to it,
Yeah.
which...
And a game that is lacking any sort of romantic element almost overall.
Man, we hug Fia a lot. We have a doll we talk to.
That's true. He did their sex puppets.
Selin has sex puppets. Or Celibus has sex puppets.
Yeah, that's true. I'm overlooking a lot.
For Selin, I would be a sex puppet.
Yeah. And Ronnie's got 4 arms.
This is kind of a horny game.
This is a very horny game, yeah.
But as far as true romance, to hear him just say, like, America, I will hold you again.
There's also a magnitude to that sentence, too, because of the way that these characters have been built up throughout the game. To actually hear one of them talking to the other one would have been a really powerful moment.
Yeah, I mean, if I could ask Radagon 3 questions, can I just ask you 3 questions before we get started? I've had, like, did you fuck a misbegotten?
Yeah, first I gotta ask, man.
Sorry. Number 2.
Moving on.
Moving forward. Yeah, I would like to know more about Godfrey. He's someone I would want to grab a beer with.
Anything that gives me more insight to characters' motivations in a game that's so shielded or veiled in shadow. I mean, I love the discover your own adventure and infer what you will is of the game.
Yeah.
But a little bit more, a little exposition dump every now and again.
Yeah.
I would have been a fan of that.
And even Godfrey's a character, we kind of know most of we know a lot about what he's about. I just still want to hang out with the guy. The fact that he seems to respect us, he loves his Omen children. He's a secret professional wrestler. He's Nacho Libre is who he is. The cloak is the lion. He takes it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like putting the mask on for Nacho.
Godfrey, voiced by Jack Black, would have been equally as epic.
Man. I mean, I would sign that up. And if you're listening to this, Phil, super pumped that your kid met Jack Black on the streets. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
The kid is already cooler than me.
And of course, Jack Black would meet a baby and sing Peaches to him.
Because we don't deserve Jack Black.
We don't deserve him. We never did. We never will. There are some unused weapons in the game. 2 of them that we know about. The Abundance and Decay Twin Blade. So, a twin blade symbolizing twins Mikola and Melania. Mikola and his sister were born from an inseparable fate. These blades contain the runes of both Abundance and Decay. So, twin blade, you think one is like Mikola, one is Melania, one's rotten, one's more childlike. Launches summon death monarchs and enemies, siphoning HP from those hit and returning it to the caster. The other one is the Abundance Twin Blade, the other item. And this is a holy power within the blade that can call upon part of Mikola's own strength. You can use Mikola's Hidden Blade, which is a unique skill. Conjures a blade blessed with Mikola's protection and performs an attack that is highly damaging against those who live in death. There's not a lot of twin blades in the game. I would have liked to have seen these. I do like the twin blades. There are some unused armor sets in the game. The Brave set was removed. An armor possibly linked to the Colosseum. A garb worn by warriors of the frigid uplands. The small flags, white cloths, and sheaves of wheat often found hung from these headbands are prayers of farewell from the people of their home. In bidding farewell to warriors departing on a journey from which they aren't likely to return, this small act offers only meager relief. Doesn't sound like anything too specific, but that's who they are, I guess.
Yeah.
Very brave. Warriors of the Frigid Uplands is all we know about them. This one's fun, though. This one got some people in some trouble. The Deathbed Smalls? Fia's Thong.
Okay.
Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah.
But you can go panty raiding in Elden Ring.
Someone went into Fia's drawer and they stole her underwear.
That's not good. Cool, man. Don't do that.
Unless you're trying to play as Party Boy. Which that is my only Elden Ring build I'm working
At
on.
least ask permission. May I borrow a thong?
Yeah, I do want to make a fucking Chris Pontius party boy avatar in this game.
That would be pretty cool.
I kind of want it.
I did watch a guy who plays the entire game as Sonic.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, it's fun. I couldn't do it.
It sounds difficult.
Yeah. But you can get her thong, huh?
You can get Fia's, they call her deathbed smalls. And you'd mod it into the game. From Software was banning anyone that had Fia's underwear.
Oh my god.
He's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Put it back in the drawer.
Could you imagine you beat the Elden Beast and before you meld the Elden Ring and you finish the game, you can switch into what you want to wear for the final cutscene, and you just wore that?
I'm gonna see that Elden dick is what we're gonna see, dude. Yep, but Fia's underwear was cut from the game. You're not allowed to get it. So modders, have fun. The Ragged set was cut. Millicent's set was cut. A grass hair ornament, which is a headdress made from wildflowers. Wearing this might make you less easy to spot. It does just look like you're wearing a bunch of grass. Kind of weird.
I'm just looking up a photo of it. Deathbed Smalls.
Yep.
Because I am curious. Oh yeah, it is just a thong.
It's just a thong.
Yeah, it is very lacy.
Cosplayers, you know what to do.
Oh, that's funny.
We look forward to your cosplay.
Yeah, you can wear it. It's on there.
And you know what? Never washed.
Got to keep the deathbed stench on it.
This smells like death.
Oh, could you imagine?
I'll give you an extra 20.
Could you imagine taking it to what's his face, the guy who fucking eats death? Yeah, that guy.
This tastes like a dead pussy. Sorry. I apologize to all my family for listening.
That was very tongue-eater of you.
There is an unused tool, Miranda's Prayer. This is a statuette depicting a flower that preys on human posed in prayer. Uses FP to call down a deluge of light. The description says, Miranda, maiden of the flower crucible, is said to have been the very first of this breed. So it's just talking about the very first Miranda flower. This is used by Melina when she is summoned against Morgoth the Omen King, currently unavailable in the game. Kind of cool. An unused talisman, the entwining umbilical cord. Now this is very Bloodborne. There's a lot of umbilical cords in Bloodborne. In fact, the only way to get the secret ending is through umbilical cords.
That seems unnecessary, but I'm intrigued.
I'm in. Oh yeah. It's a mysterious circular object that's oddly warped. Changes the demeanor of the wearer's actions. The speculation is that this would change your animations from male animations to female animations or vice versa.
Interesting.
Which is cool. To me, you don't even need an umbilical cord to do that, but it's a cool option. If characters want to have their character behave a certain way, I think that's great.
It's a cool, creepy way to throw that in the game.
Did you hear what's happening to Starfield?
No.
Some person, dickbag, tried to mod out the ability to choose your pronouns in the game, which is an option at the beginning because I'm mega cool.
I'm Giga Chad and this doesn't sit well with me.
Oh, games suck these days. They modded it out and they accidentally made the entire game non-binary and everyone's just using they, there the whole time. Yes, got him.
He's just in the fetal position crying like, it's not what I meant for it to do.
It's worse for him, but hilarious for us.
What was his end? He
just didn't want people to be able to choose. I don't know.
But then what if he accidentally only did he, him, and everybody's a he, him in the game, and then he's trying to have
his romance options are bad.
Yeah,
yep.
Then he's fucked.
Or they seem hot, but they're a man.
Yeah.
Embrace yourself.
He would never survive in Baldur's Gate.
No.
He wouldn't.
Why not?
Because within the first 25 minutes of the game, a male vampire hits on you.
I say yes.
I was tempted.
I'd be like,
Asterion is pretty fucking cool.
I'm like, tell me more about that vampire dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you didn't have blood. I thought you're dead, right?
and you want me to go and collect some credits from a mercenary somewhere or something? I'm in.
Baldur's Gate's so fun.
I just love side quests. There's an unused book, the Erd Tree Codex, a scroll containing incantations. Don't know much about it. Unused crafting materials, the Hidden Plumage, a Death Bearer's Plumage.
Kinky.
Put it back.
Yep.
Golden Dung.
Okay. So not just gold tinged.
Well, I think it became the golden tinge because it says someone's excrement. It has a golden tinge.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I like the description, though. It's a highly stable substance. It doesn't dry out, nor does it lose its customary warmth or scent. For better or worse, it remains as it is.
Yeah, that's a good description. No cut pots?
There was a cut pot. I didn't include it because it wasn't too interesting.
Okay, but I love me some
It
pots.
was like a freezing rope pot or something like that.
That'd been cool.
It wasn't exciting enough.
Okay.
Dark Souls 3 makes an appearance now.
Hey.
Judicator Argo. Now, this is a name that, of course, if you played Dark Souls 3, you're familiar with. We haven't.
Yes.
We don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
The only baseline I have for Argo is Ben Affleck.
Stiller. I forget.
I almost said Stiller.
Ben Affleck. Character from Dark Souls 3 has dialogue that survived pretty well into development, and also bonfires were used as placeholders before Grace. So you actually find some bonfires left in there if you're in the data mining business. And yeah, some have been modded back in. You can find bonfires inside.
Well, I imagine they just were like, we're going to change this to whatever we want for this game, but it's the bonfire. This is the working title.
Yes. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But just call it something else. Did we talk to George? What did he have?
Did he have any ideas?
Okay, so it's the same thing though, right?
Just make sure you can copy me, but just make sure you change it just enough so that we don't get in trouble.
So we have this thing called souls, and we already used blood echoes. What do we got? How about we use runes?
We should just call them smalls. What's a small? Well, I'll just do it later.
America's tits. That's a good idea. America's titties.
Do you want more strength? It will cost you 10,000 titties.
Can I mod the little underwears back in? Do girls like it when I wear the underwear? Do girls?
Do girls?
Know that I mod underwear back into the game and wear
Do
them?
girls like it when I drink them?
Do girls like that? Is she inside of me? You can tell she's inside of me, Elena? That's weird. An entire ending was cut from the game.
As if we didn't have enough of those.
Another one was there. Early data mining found suggestions of the age of absolute ending. Text prompts and cutscene files are there, missing, but there are spots for them. So, YouTuber Garden of Eyes is a real shyster. They're a real tricky bastard. Look out for Garden of Eyes because on April Fool's Day, they said that they found the ending. And they made a video of the dialogue's like, oh, the age of absolute. And it was you standing in front of the three fingers grafted onto the two fingers as a 5-finger hand. And people bought it. It was a fake ending, but I do just love that.
Oh, that's good.
One of their videos they made afterwards, like, this is not an April Fool's joke. They had to clarify for the next videos because your credibility might be questioned.
You're going to take a hit, but the joke was worth it.
It was worth it. And we're excited about it. So we're going to take a quick break to hear from another amazing show from the Tokubi Podcast Network and be right back to discuss version 1.0 armor and my favorite cut quest.
And we're back with another great episode of...
Hold your horses, mister. This is a commercial for our show, Nasty Labs, not the actual show.
You mean to tell me this is a commercial for our bi-weekly show from game studio Chuhai Labs where we talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up?
Yep, and it stars me, Kinsey Burke. And also it has my junior co-host, Mark Lentz.
Sup, though?
So catch brand new episodes twice monthly for only 3 easy payments of $420.69.
That doesn't make sense.
Nasty Labs! Only on the Tokyo Beat Network.
Today's show was brought to you by EPOS Gaming Audio. With a comprehensive lineup of both wired and wireless headsets, gaming amplifiers, microphones, and webcams, EPOS has everything you need to experience the power of audio. Like their H6 Pro lineup, which features 2 versions, an open or closed headset. The closed headset allows you to tap into exceptionally detailed audio and seals out ambient noise, while the open version delivers natural high-fidelity audio with an incredible soundstage. Both headsets include a magnetic detachable microphone and a sleek design that has no wild RGB configurations, just good design. Listeners can save 15% by visiting www.eposaudio.com/gaming and entering code EPOSFRIEND15 at checkout. That is EPOSFRIEND15 at checkout. Hi, everyone. We're back.
That's terrifying.
It was not gold tinged down there.
Blue tinged.
Oh, it was bad. You don't want no part of that shit. So,
Literally.
Yeah, I included actually. I wasn't sure if we were going to get to it. This episode was originally going to just be a 1-parter, so now it's 2 parts. And I added this today. And these are the 1.0 differences in armor descriptions. There's a lot.
From vanilla to the first patch.
From vanilla to day 1 patch. Because these days, games are patched to shit. Unless you're Nintendo. Tip of the hat to you. Mario never had his underwear removed from the game.
That we know of.
Mario's nipples were first featured in Super Mario Sunshine. And they're nice little round pepperonis.
I was going to say, are they pepperonis? Because he's Italian.
No, they're tiny, nice little ones. They're not salamis.
Like the ones when you bake them, they kind of curl up a little bit. They're real crispy.
Yeah, it's crispy ones.
Crispy tits.
Although, despite having his shirt off, that dude has never seen the sun. He doesn't go on vacation much. That's the point of Sunshine. He's trying
a lot of people who wear overalls are not very tan. There is a direct correlation between the demographic that wear overalls and the demographic that visit tanning beds. And you can take that to the bank.
Did you know redneck was not a negative term when it was first used?
I was born in Arkansas, so yes, I know that.
And it was like a term to describe a certain form of soldier. Was it on the right side of the Civil War?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And then it eventually, for a very small minute, was a hard worker because you're out in the sun all day.
Yeah, and you have a redneck.
You have a redneck.
And then a lot of them just became Republican shitheads.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Knoxville, the only good line from... Was it from Jackass, or maybe it was from Bad Grandpa, where he says, "That long hair don't cover up that redneck, boy."
That's from Bad Grandpa, and that is a term that me and my friends would affectionately throw at each other several times a day.
Gotta love it. We're back. So we'll run through some of these. Some of these might be quick. Some of these might not be. The Caden armor, which is originally just says that they're cell swords from another land.
One of my first armors.
Originally says included that they were allegedly fashioned after that of giants. So they were originally kind of associated with giants. That might have been what giants wore back in the day, which is kind of fun to think about. The Drakenet armor originally said it was malformed and fused with dragon flesh. Worn by Andre, the dragon tracker. Andre seeks the Storm Eyrie, a place that only dragons can reach. What the fuck is all of that?
It's the heavens, dog.
The Storm Eyrie, Aerie. It's an area that only dragons can get to, and now I need to know more.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was maybe that's early Farmazula.
Maybe this armor was found before Farmazula, and then this was the Storm Eyrie. Yeah,
it's interesting to see like where this content may have had legs outside of, once it was cut, they're like, actually, that's a really good concept. Let's move forward with it and make it its own thing. Also, startlingly, the amount of armors that didn't have descriptions at all, other than armor worn by this person, armor worn by that didn't describe who they were. A lot of armor was like that in vanilla day one.
In vanilla, the Drake scale armor barely said anything before. It just added descriptions of Old Knight Isfin, other armors, added lore like Rogier, the Traveler's set. The Lowborn hood and robe, original description said, garbs of spurned tarnish who were forced into slavery in the lands between. They took that out, so tarnish were like forced into slavery. They were grafted into Godric, but it's just interesting to hear that some tarnished fates were pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pour one out for your homies. Banished Knights used to explicitly say that they were from Stormvale instead of banished from anywhere elsewhere. The Briar set originally called them Condor Knights.
Interesting.
I like it. I like condors.
Yeah, condors are cool. They're big as fuck.
The only condor I know is from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, they're huge. In real life, condors are really big.
What are they? Are they? They're not like vultures.
They're kind of. I think they're vulture adjacent.
Adjacent. Well, the Briar set used to be vulture adjacent back in the day. The Knight's cavalry armor. This was removed. The armor's not black originally. It's just from dried blood that they became black.
That is fucking heavy metal. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's some Rammstein shit right there.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually a white shirt. At least it was before I killed everybody.
Yeah.
Did you want a glass of wine?
It's just blood.
It's just blood. It's blood the whole way down. These hardcore motherfuckers. The Silver Albinoric armor, which we will talk about in another episode because it is the hardest armor to get in the game, maybe. It's made from the same material the Albinorics are created from. It's the only material that doesn't irritate their skin.
It's made from frogs.
Well, if it's made from frogs, the only thing that can touch frogs are frogs. Imagine if like all of your shirts had to be made out of human skin, otherwise it just hurt. It was uncomfortable.
Maybe we should look at Ed Gein in a different light.
All I know is my nipple belt feels pretty good.
You know what? My pants don't slip none.
My pants feel like my own skin. I can dance in them.
They're mostly, one is a pepperoni. I didn't have enough nipples. I gained a lot of weight over COVID.
Turns out I'm an 11 nipple man, and most people have too. What? It's a pepperoni.
It was the pepperoni or my own nipple.
If you can choose, but is it pepperoni? It's like, but is it cake? But they're all real human nipples.
It's like the early Flash game. It's bad.
What's it called?
Is it raw meat or pussy? And it was an up close shot. And we were in like
this is a
middle
Flash
school.
game.
Yeah, it was an actual
Flash games
game.
are like a Flappy Bird or something.
No, like we're talking Newgrounds, Mini Clip, Crazy Monkey Games era.
We watched Jakey's Flash Games video last night. Carly had never seen it. Carly's played all of them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Flash games were a way of life for a while. But yeah, no, it's an up close of either a vagina or raw meat, and you have to guess. And if you guess right, then it zooms the picture out, and it's like ding or either way.
Speaking of either a vagina or a raw meat, and it would have to zoom out, and you'd be like, Do we have another beer?
Yes, we do. We have the last beer I brought from Ope Brewing Company.
The final beer.
The final. I chose this one last because it's a nice palate cleanser. When people get a flight, I usually tell them to get one of these because it kind of, cleanses the palate.
Cleanses the palate.
It is our American lager called Lager with 3 A's.
Oh.
It is a beer-flavored beer, and it is delicious. Light, crisp, tasty.
Craft beer drinkers.
You make a full circle eventually.
There's a bell curve where it's like, okay, what's an IPA? Yeah. Give me that. Triple hop, double dry hop. Oh my God. Eventually you're like, can I just get a fucking beer?
Yep. And this is where we arrive.
And it's what I want to drink 90% of the time.
Yep. The majority of people who come in, they're like, can I get a Coors Light? I'm like, I'll give you a lager.
And it'll always happen.
Yep.
And the trick is just be nice to them. We got to do it.
Yeah. There was one time somebody was really pissing me off.
What did you do?
And they were like, can I get a Miller Lite? I'm like, we don't have it. And then he ordered a High Life and we didn't have it. I'm like, we have our beer. And he's like, I'll take a Coors Light. And I just gave him a lager.
He's like, good Coors Light you got here.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. You found a Coors Light in the back. And I thank you.
You're welcome. It was the last one.
Thank you. I was doing like almost a Steve Zahn from
from Righteous Gemstones.
There is, and the silver Albinarch armor also says, these maids were constructed in Rey Lucaria heading to the Paling Tower to enter Miquella's service. Constructed is an interesting word. So it confirms Rey Lucaria was the ones who made them, which is pretty much known before, but interesting. The merchant set contained almost no lore at all. We found out more later. The malformed dragon set. Anytime there's a new proper noun, I get excited. This is the armor of Gnarl.
That's gnarly.
Literally.
Yeah.
Misshapen, tree sentinel, heretic. Now, a lot of adjectives there to unwind.
Misshapen.
No, Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yep.
Tree sentinel has a horse and armor.
Yep.
And a heretic. So he's like, fuck God. There's a lot going on there. Once a dragon worshiper from the capital, it said he pulverized his golden armor with his bare hands in a fit of religious fervor, covering it in his own blood as he reshaped it into the likeness of a dragon. This is a person that has anger issues that you see videos of on Reddit.
This is somebody who is simply raised Southern Baptist, is what I'm hearing.
That attacks their own truck to prove a point.
I love God.
I'm going to make my truck look like a god.
Yeah.
And he punches his truck, and he's bleeding. And 10 people take videos, and that's their highlight of their life.
Yep. One person's yelling World Star on the back, although it'll never make the cut.
What is World Star?
World Star is a website for hip-hop videos and people who fight each other.
Okay.
I believe. I don't know.
Both hip-hop and fighting.
I find the two go hand in hand.
Well, I don't know. That seems wrong.
Not like directly, but the videos. It's, you watch somebody fight and then you listen to a hip-hop song and it's a nice palate cleanser going into the next fight sometimes. I didn't visit World Star a lot. It comes up on my my fighting subreddits.
This is the most non sequitur thing that I will ever bring up on this podcast. Since we started a billion years ago. My buddy and I, Steve, used to watch Dragon Ball Z with the audio off with random, like, ultra fast hip hop rap songs playing. And it would look like, because the characters just talk and they don't move and they don't articulate. So it looked like they were rapping at each other. We get so stoned and watch Krillin and Piccolo and Goku just like rap.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's awesome.
That's awesome. And then did sometimes the beat drop time up to when they actually started fighting and you were like, whoa, that actually worked.
All the time.
Oh, that's the best.
Well, I mean, that's the power of editing. You get this. You're a filmmaker. Things sync up way more than they should because that's the power of music. And as long as anything is close, it will drop. Sometimes you need it to be like ultra specific, but many times, if there's just like a building fucking crescendo of who made the Dark Knight music, Howard Shore, Hans Zimmer. If there's anything back there, it'll work.
Yep. We actually in film school we called them puzzle pieces, where you would like throw a clip down and you're like, I didn't even have to edit that; it just fit.
Way more than it should.
Yeah, and it's really uncanny until you understand how hard it is to like edit dialogue between like your master shot and the two RAs.
I'm getting angry thinking about it.
Yeah, and then you like, I'm just going to drop this clip in here. I got to fucking go get lunch. And then you watch it back. You're like, I don't even have to touch it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Sometimes it just works. And so the Gnarl was beating the shit out of his armor and got it so bloody and tried to make it look like a dragon. Gnarl sounds like a bad guy.
Who accidentally became a sculptor.
A misshapen tree sentinel heretic. You, sir, can fuck off. Yay! If you're listening, you're not. Thanks for sending my wife a video, though, Jimmy, if you are, for our wedding. That was really nice of you. But you're not listening. Loretta's armor is a silver... We're off topic today, folks, if you're listening. That's just what's happening.
This episode has gone off the rails.
We're going off the rails. This is cut content released live. Loretta's armor, silver helm of the Arbor Sentinels who serve Miquella, it says, hailing from Rea Lucaria, these, so it didn't say Loretta's originally, but it said, these enchanted knights once belonged to the Carian royal family, but were later gifted to Miquella, recipient of the vision by King Consort Radagon. Sometimes a sentence holds a lot of power. So this says, it wasn't just Loretta's armor. This was just like the armor of all of the Arbor Sentinels. And they were once part of the Carian royal family, but they were gifted to Miquella by Radagon. So first, Radagon was still in charge, gifted a whole bunch of knights to Miquella for something, and Radagon would later merge back with America, and Melania and Miquella would have separate agendas. So this was when Radagon was an Elden Lord, apparently. And it also calls Miquella recipient of the vision, capital V.
Lot to unpack there.
That's a lot to unpack.
That's got to be the early concept for their dream world.
Yeah, I don't know what the vision is. He apparently Miquella had a vision. Maybe that was like, I have a vision. I have a dream. We will have a big tree next to the other tree. It'll be beautiful.
Landscaping.
Now,
ever heard of it?
We need to get a lot of fucking stone out over an ocean, and we're not going to talk about this because this will not make lore sense. But we have to get a lot of it out there. I'm going to plant myself in a tree. We're just going to grow. Also, I look like I'm 10, but I am 3,700. We don't know. The time's weird too.
We got to cut Miquella off.
He's not good. He's not good live.
Yep, we got to cut him off. Cut his mic.
Yep. Yeah. Miquella had a vision, and Radagon sent a bunch of knights there. Version 1.0. Now, this could be argued as canon. It got patched out, but it's on discs for people.
It's got to be DLC bound.
I have a weird thing where it's like George Lucas changing that Han Solo shot first. He still shoots first in my mind, but according to the most recent versions, it's almost the same time. For a while, it was Greedo shot first. When do patches become canon versus OG release? And I guess it's just like when it becomes part of the culture, you know? It's weird. It's a weird question.
Did they have any indication of sales between vanilla and day one patch? They had pre-sales, right?
Well, I mean, vanilla and day one patch is the same. Everyone had it day one. It was massive.
Well, I'm talking like, did they know that this game was going to be a financial success enough to justify a DLC? So maybe they were like, yeah, it'd be cool if we could like do this DLC and do this content later, but we don't know if we're going to get there. Let's add that content now. And then they get a bunch of pre-orders and it's like, oh shit, this is actually going to be a hit. Pull that out, hold it back. That'll be DLC because now we're actually going to be able to greenlight that idea.
Maybe. I could see that being a thing.
It's just the rabbit holes you could go down on why stuff gets cut is just too deep.
The amount of stuff surrounding Miquella, though, that gets cut and venturing into dreams that gets cut, it just seems like they have to be saving something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you already have the foundation of the ideas there because they're included in day one.
Yeah.
And you've pulled them for a reason. So either you were not going to be able to tell that full story, so let's cut it, or we are going to be able to tell the full story and we will expand upon it later.
If I have 5 little morsels over here that might add to a full meal over there, it seems like they moved it.
Yes.
I agree. We'll see. We don't know.
It's exciting. That's really exciting for the DLC, though, because if it goes that direction, I'm going to be a happy, happy guy.
The Nox armor originally said armor worn by members of the Empyrean family. They fucking just spell it out that they are part of the Empyrean family. I don't know if it means they're directly, it was kind of believed before that America was associated with the Nox. But to hear that they are part of the Empyrean family specifically is interesting because the recipient of the Golden Order that can carry the Elden Ring, if you were going to be a god, like America, you need to be an Empyrean. So to see that the Nox are all members of the Empyrean family is peculiar. But we don't know anything else about that.
That's a can of worms.
That's a can of worms. Ancestral Followers armor says, seeking spiritual death, they shun metallic objects and steer clear of anything metals have influence in the course of civilization.
They hate metal.
I'm vegan, and anything that's touched a cow, I refuse to eat.
Yeah. That armor could have easily said, want to be a Disney princess?
Yeah. And if this plastic was recycled from a Disney wand, I don't want a part of it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's interesting that Ancestral Followers not only shun it all, but they also have a concept like, I don't want no Nokia cell phone armor, nothing that's ever touched anything. This is needs to be pure, so nothing metal, no metallic objects. The Duelist Helm says, the multitude of snake adornments are made to intimidate, but nevertheless prove what godless affairs these battles can be. The serpent is the usurper of the gods after all. The last line is what's interesting. The serpent is the usurper of the gods. Rykard, the snake, was powerful enough to usurp some gods. Apparently.
And we know enough that, that was his game plan. Like, he's a god eater, or attempting to be.
Eat enough gods and you become one yourself.
Yeah. Eat your vegetables, eat your gods, you grow up big and strong.
Yep. If you eat enough gods, you will be formidable.
Yeah, you'll probably go down in folklore as some sort of monster at some point.
My goal is to become folklore. If I can become folklore or some myth, Bradawulf.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got stabbed by 30 people for being a dickhead. I'd be like, still a myth.
Yeah.
Got him.
Tyler, he made...
I'm going to be in Assassin's Creed 35, and they're going to say Bradawulf was a dick, and I'd be like, still there.
I can't think of a good pun off Tyler. Maybe he just made really nice tiles that only the gods could walk on.
He was a tiler.
Yeah, that's what the name Tyler means. That's where it comes from.
Whoa.
Yep, I looked it up when I was in elementary school.
My name is Brad.
That just means be rad.
I mean Sir Gideon Ofnir, which means Thor's dad, so deal with it. The Guardian armor, which are the minor Erdtree tree boys, armor worn by the people of Rotted Abundance, so they seemed more associated with Melania and Mikla at some point because abundance and rot. The Clean Rot armor originally said worn by Wing Knights instead of Clean Rot Knights. Wing Knights does not work as well.
No, it sounds too close to Wingnut.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, oh, look at these wing nuts over here.
Yeah, with that fucking clean armor.
Oh, you worship Melania, you wing nut.
You think you're so cool.
Fuck off. The Black Flame armor, attire of the Godskin monks, not the Black Flame monks, originally called the Godskin monks instead. They were associated regardless, but interesting. The Vulgar Militia armor originally were just called Wandering Soldiers.
They changed it, and it just says fuck on the armor.
Cunt. Just these little bastards. Keep kicking my shins and spitting on me and cussing.
One spit on me, he's vulgar.
It ain't too golden order, if you know what I'm talking about. The Sage armor, instead of being called heretical sages, they were called traveling musicians, which are called bums. We call them bums where I'm from. What movie is that from? I forget. Yeah, they were called traveling musicians, though, and I just like anyone who's playing music in the lands between, you get a pass.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
They don't have their own cheap bar to go watch, but we appreciate you. The Radon armor originally called him the God of War.
That could have been a working title.
Ares.
Yeah, it sounds like a working title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just when I saw it, I was like, no.
No, you can't do that.
We got one.
Yeah.
The Crucible armor originally referred to the 16 ancient knights. They had a number for the Crucible knights, which is cool.
It would have been nice to know how many I got to fucking kill.
They'd have a list.
Yeah. Like at Billy Madison
Written
with
in
Steve
blood.
Buscemi, and I just cross him out with lipstick every time.
Or Dovis. What's the song that plays during that?
I don't know. I want to say Goodbye Horses, but I know that's Clerks.
Nope, it's not Goodbye Horses.
Yeah, I know that's Clerks.
Okay. Write in if you know. We need to know. And we're not going to look it up. The astrologer armor said, garb of the artisans who polished prized gemstones. So instead of saying that they looked to the cosmos above, it said that they were just obsessed with rocks. And it said, having fallen in love with gemstones at some point, stone crafters are ever in search of the finest possible specimens.
Pawn Stars DLC.
I mean, to be like, oh, it's a good rock. Instead of, I love the stars.
Yeah.
Y'all got any more of those rocks?
They're minerals, Marie.
God damn it, Marie. It just kind of rewrites their entire half of the world, half of the magic history.
I mean, in the first description, they're looking down, and in the second description, they're looking up.
I love it.
It is a literal 180.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with, I found this in the dirt. Instead of metal detectors and telescopes. That's the difference.
Yeah, it could be like they're essentially miners. Like, there's fucking gold in them hills out there.
Them there hills.
Yeah.
The Beast Champion armor was originally called the Menagerist armor. And I'm like, what the fuck?
They made that word up.
Well, it's, menagerie.
Yeah.
It's a keeper of animals. And Bernal was called Bernard. Or they just wrote it wrong as to, like, punk him. It says Bernard the Trader on it. Sorry, buddy. Was he like Ace Ventura originally, like the keeper of animals? Sorry, Satan. I didn't know. I thought you were someone else. Maybe. Melania's armor, originally referred to as Arbitress Melania. An arbitress is a woman who oversees the judgment. So maybe she was Mikkola's Judge Judy.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been fine with that.
You, sir, are not the father. The Finger Maiden armor referred to them as saints. Canonized, great. The Traveler's armor, it literally says the original. So the Traveler's armor is what you find next to Melania's battleground. And it's what Millicent wears. It's just for like young women that are traveling, is what it says in the main game. But in 1.0, it says armor worn by Melania. Which, that's when Millicent was Melania, like more one-to-one. It's just bizarre to see that was the whole description, armor worn by Melania. They seem to have placeholders all the way to disc delivery.
Which, I mean, makes sense if there's other areas of the game that you got to finish in order for... I don't know what crunch looks like at From Software, but there's things that can be delayed.
We know that Miyazaki will stay late. It's one of those things where if a leader is someone you believe in, you're willing to, like, yeah, I can stay late. Like, this is worth my time. If I was working on Elden Ring, instead of, redoing someone's kitchen with electricity, I would be more willing to stay late.
Be more vested in the cause.
Yeah, if I got paid and I did something that mattered, instead of this person needs to have their pool bonded and grounded, maybe.
Bonding and grounding a pool would scare me.
High pressure, low reward.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, not dying is a reward. The Fell Omen Cape is our last bit of armor, and it says, robe worn by Morgoth, the Elden Lord.
Elden Lord.
I know, right?
Damn.
You got a promotion.
Damn, you got...
That's like me putting on a t-shirt that says, worn by Brad, the President of the United States of America. I'm like, when did this happen? Holy shit. Just like I thought, made in heaven. I didn't see that one coming at all. But we're going to go back to our final quest. My personal favorite quest, we're going back to Kale. Kale's a good homie of ours. So this was cut long before the closed network test. Kale would have started by Agil Lake. The intro is much the same, but before long, he will start speaking of his brothers.
I have a lot of brothers. Our travels keep us separate, but at the same time, we are together. I am my brothers, and they are I. The lines between us, burning bit by bit. Some brothers are sedentary. There are more and more of us. The 10-1 children will soon be the 101 children. At this rate, we'll be the 1,000. It is the curse. The curse of red eyes. Its fire spreads, creeping surely, imperceptibly.
I find it very fascinating how he says, he's speaking of his brothers. He mentions that they are connected, that they are separate, but the dry, like the red eyes is causing them to be like, they're 10-1. Soon they will be 101. Something is, this curse is causing them to all meld together. It's terrifying. And this was clearly like an early concept for how the Flame of Frenzy would be affecting people. Kale and his brothers do have dry red eyes, though. For dry red eyes.
Yep.
Ben Stein is not happy.
Been smoking that gas.
Been smoking that gas. But yeah, he mentions that him and his brothers are melding together, that they are suffering from the red eyes, and it is causing them to all kind of merge. Now, Kale does have other brothers, and they would move around the map. We will refer to them through their file names, so it's 801 and 802. But the brothers wear the same garb, they have the same voice actor, and one of the brothers mentions that he escaped from Lanedell. We find number 802 in the Lake of Liurnia.
Wait, weren't you... Well, you're back. Care to buy something? I am not quite like the rest of my brothers. A nuisance it may be, but I'm always moving about. The thought frightens me of staying in the same place for very long. Then they might come again and lock me in that tomb. A deep, deep hole. Below those omen even.
He got out.
Yeah, he's already referring to it.
He got out, and it's great to hear that it's to hear it referenced that somebody was able to get out, because I can't even get down.
Could you imagine, though? Like, all right, you're in this fucking desolate tomb where your entire caravan, your entire race has been either turned to puppets, crazy, or slaughtered, right?
Yeah, the worst.
And you escape that in order to find yourself in the sewers of the capital, which is one of my least favorite places to be in the game.
Yeah.
Then you finally make it out of that. And you are now in the maze of the capital, which is one of my least favorite places to be in the game. That dude escaped from Alcatraz. Way to go.
Yeah. He got out. And
Dude.
clearly, he doesn't want to sit somewhere. You'll never feel safe. You will always wake up and
Be looking over your shoulder.
you'll run to the next spot. There's nowhere safe anywhere.
Plus, like, at that point, you are free. And I have to imagine that the thrill of being free and being able to go where you would like to wander would just be insatiable. Like, you would just crave it.
Terrifying.
You'd crave it every day.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
But yes, 802, the brother we just heard from, mentions that he got locked up. He doesn't want to get locked up again in the tomb. He moves around multiple spots, but he settles down by Stormhill, and he will say this.
Something is bothering me. One of our traveling brothers insists on jostling the cursed flame, making it burn stronger and brighter, making us smudge and blend together. I'm not sure which of us it is. Don't imagine that it's me.
But this would also hold them directly responsible for the Flame of Frenzy.
Also, how weird is it that you are interconnected with other people and you don't know where you're getting these thoughts from, or if it's even your own thoughts that's doing it?
The writhing behind my eyelids seeping into my brain and my heart. It goes even further then.
It's a collective disease of humanity that is spreading through everybody.
That's terrifying.
The desire for absolute chaos and a return to the madness that was before.
But you get a hug before it's all said and done from 3 hairy wigglers.
Honestly, I'd rather have a beer.
But give me the dream brew any day.
Yeah, it's just weird that I don't know where these thoughts are coming from or if they're mine.
It just, it's the perfect disease because you don't know if they're from within or from possibly out of your mind.
So we hear from 801. Now, 801 is the third brother, and they are sitting beside the War Master's shack, which at the time was called the Gypsies' shack.
This is where we fight Bernard. What?
Bernard.
I want to say Bernardold or
Bernardold the traitor. We'll go with Bernardold.
Whatever they called that guy from Westworld.
Bernie. I tell you this. You don't want another part of this. 4-day work weeks, everybody. Sorry, that's my Bernal the traitor.
The cursed flame burns inside our eyelids, corroding the lines that separate us. That's what the instrument is for. The timbre of its song calms the flame, however slightly, caressing, gently, so that we don't blend together. Our song derives from an old lullaby, sung for us long ago, deep inside our tomb. But whoever it was sings no longer. Its melody allowed us to sleep, despite the cursed flame.
That is haunting because I have a very personal experience with what that might feel like. And anybody who's worn contacts can probably agree with me.
Do you have dry red eyes?
You can't use those with contacts. They're not made for contacts. You have to use contact drops.
Give me your scary shit you were talking about.
If you sleep with your contacts in too often,
Yeah.
which I did a lot in high school and college, every now and again it's got to be an eye infection or an irritation. You don't have any pus or anything that comes out, but your eyes hurt. It hurts really bad. So you take your contacts out, you throw them bitches away because they're no good anymore. But when you close your eyes, and I shit you not, it is a sensation that you feel when you close your eyes, which you think would give you relief from your burning eyes.
It's worse.
It is like staring into the sun. It is the most uncomfortable feeling, and it will ruin your entire day. It is an 8 to 12 hour ordeal.
I don't like this.
All you want to do is sleep, and you cannot sleep because the moment you close your eyes to go to sleep, your eyes burn like you are staring into the sun. And if that is any indication of what that feels like, that is terrifying.
I don't. I'm glad I've never worn contacts because you're not selling me.
It's bad. So I have a little bit of personal experience with what that might feel like. I'm not schizophrenic, however, so the voices I can't relate to.
They also mentioned, though, that they were hearing a lullaby that would soothe the pain.
That was just The Office playing in the background while I cried.
It was just The Office. The lullaby was The Office. Yeah, so a song was played early on in their suffering that was played by somebody that would alleviate some of the suffering that they had.
There are people walking around on there playing music when you enter.
It was Mikola. Mikola went down there and played a song that was soothing to them, that eased their suffering. And they're not there to sing it anymore. Mikola's gone. But we learned that Mikola, hint, 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 shrug, 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 wink, wink, was down there and gave them the song that was curing their pain. So then we returned to Kale after we had spoken to his brothers, and he says,
Could I ask you to do something for us? Use this crystal ball to find us dream mist. Go up to someone sleeping and use it. Any dream mist you collect is sure to fetch a fine price. From me, or one of my brothers. Not a bad arrangement, eh?
That could have been a cool way to earn extra runes while doing some good in a world that just punks you over and over and over again.
help these guys out. They're all suffering. So yeah, St. Trina's crystal ball makes another appearance here. Instead of Rico, homeless man under the bridge. We have merchants suffering from a horrible disease that needs help. I know who I'd rather help I want to get some alcohol. I'm helping the homeless guy.
Sorry, guys.
But yes, we learned about Saint Trina, and it says in the description for the crystal ball, it says, "May the quietude of slumber come to all and sundry, even to those whose dry red eyes burn with the flame of frenzy." The flames of frenzy. This will allow them to retain individuality where the flame is causing them to blend together.
Damn.
So they need this. They need the dream mist. They need the song. And Saint Trina is there to help. So if you sell 3 dream mist to 802, they will say this.
There you are. I'm afraid I've decided to up sticks and move on. Just preparing for the journey now, in fact. Care to make any final purchases? Thank you for bringing us Dream Mist. You have our gratitude for collecting so much Dream Mist. This is a token of thanks. Please accept it. My brothers and I long await the day that the cursed flame dies out, and we can finally rest, and I can finally dream alone.
Some sad shit.
Yeah. If you give 3 Dream Mists to Brother 808, he teams up with Kanye and makes 808 and Heartbreaks.
Who's 808?
No, that's the name of Kanye's album, 808 and Heartbreaks.
Is it about Hawaii?
No, that's Childish Gambino.
Because Hawaii, they're the code for the phone, the area code is 808. Yeah.
No shit.
That's my area code since I lived there for a while.
No shit.
This is sad.
It would have been nice to have a quest line where you actually did good.
And they're trying to get away from the flame of frenzy, whereas the other calling quest is, I'll give you the flame of frenzy, and I'm with that too. That too. But this one, please help me and my brothers from going crazy. We're all going crazy. This is not good, and we need your help. And I like it a lot. They're grateful. 802, when they await the day they can dream alone. Yeah, I'm with you. The item that they hand you seems to be a placeholder. It's just a perfume bottle, which
could have been something cool.
If you attack one of them, they will share their feelings with each other. And this is what they will say.
You're tarnished, huh? I'm afraid I'm not open for business. My brothers have been attacked. I must tell this thief who dares feed the cursed flame before our anger blends and we forget who we are. We collect on our debts. Always.
They had a whole bunch of unused animations of the merchants playing songs that were like spells and attacks against you, which would be cool.
Yeah.
They're unused animations. They're in the game where they're just like, and then like,
just the devil went down to Georgia on your ass.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World when they're just like throwing musical attacks. Or what is that? Kung Fu Hustle? Where the two musicians are like throwing notes at you and they're cutting you apart. Beautiful. Kind of like that. But we're not going to end on a sad note. Elden Dogs today ends on a happy note. So we're going to end on an okay ending for Kale's quest.
Perhaps you don't need to hear this, but see that no harm comes to my kin. We have a saying, we wanderers, lament not your solitude. Expect no sympathy, no regard, nothing. But if anyone dares harm us, show them no mercy. That is our code, so to speak. Just the way we are, deeply unforgiving.
Not a super happy ending, but a better ending.
Yeah.
Kale and his brothers, they had a quest. It got deleted. Kale became an angry an angry dude of vengeance, and that got deleted. And instead he just became a dude who kind of knew Blythe, and that's fine, but it's just interesting that Kale, the first NPC you meet outside of like pretty much Vare, went through such a up and down roller coaster of who they were.
And if you want to delve down the rabbit hole, is this something that's going to be explored in the DLC?
I don't know.
I don't think they would go that route with it, but it could be a portion, could be a highlight of the DLC.
My predictions for the DLC is Mikola, we will enter their dream. This is fucking speculation, but I think that we will enter their dream, and I predict the DLC is going to be fucking massive. I have a feeling this will be the biggest DLC anyone's ever seen.
Well, how big was the DLC for Bloodborne?
20 hours.
Yeah, so it's within their frame of work to do something massive.
I think this could be on the scale of almost the entire Lands Between 2,000 years before.
That would be fucking epic.
And everything could be re-explored. I don't know. This is just a vibe that I was getting. And different, new everything, new bosses. What was here then? We don't know. But
well, I mean,
even then, but like Mikola, if we go in their dream, I think that there will need to be an enemy. And it might be Mikola at the end. It could be Mikola at the end. It might be. But the Flame of Frenzy could also be like the other big bad in there, which is why they took some of this out to keep some more question marks around the flame.
That would be epic. You could also do a final boss that's like the duality between Saint Trina and Mikola. Maybe one is not who they seem, and you're experiencing the duality of a persona split between two beliefs or two beings, because it seems to be a common thread through Elden Ring.
I've never been more excited for a DLC in my entire life.
I think you're right on the scale. I think it's going to be huge, because with the way that it was getting announced and the lead up to it in that first image, it seemed like it was moving quick, like it was going to be something we're going to get right away.
Well, they just like, all right, it's 3 a.m. American time. Just put an image out and say we're doing a DLC. That's all they've done. That's the only thing they've done is one image that we're making a DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. That's insane. The amount of like, it's like the other Miyazaki, like, all right, I have a feature film out now.
The sequel, or not the sequel, the DLC to Elden Rings, because the Erd Tree is light. It is the centerpiece for the realm, correct?
Yeah.
And then to name the DLC the Shadow would be the duality of it. It'd be the opposite.
Yeah.
It could be the past. It could be a dream. But that, I think, merits some discovery or some investigation.
Or a dream of the past, which then it's all shaded. But the amount of unexplored DLC, it's like, all right, who's the Gloam-Eyed Queen? We can potentially explore that. If it is a dream of the past or whatever, we can get answers to a lot of questions. It might not just be like the Mikola DLC. It might be like the all-encompassing other shit. More question marks, but a few periods.
Playing as a create your own Tarnished, or something that existed before the Tarnished, or playing as a character that you can take in a different class if you would like it.
If it's it'll be our character, so it will have to be a dream if we go in the past.
You think you'll be able to take your character from endgame into it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is going to be a
continuation.
A continuation. It'll be you go into somewhere and you're in everything you have will be part of it. And that's why I'm excited. Plus, I have torn this game apart. I don't know much. There's not much else to think about. I've done it all. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. But
the rabbit holes you can go down with cut content and what it could mean for the future of the series is dangerous. There's a lot of avenues you can go down.
I'm so excited.
And it makes me want to sound like a professional, but like, in all honesty, if I didn't do this podcast, I'd still have no idea what the game is about.
Yeah, I mean, it's about the ambition of humanity is what this game is about. It's about deciding our fates for what's going on, and about a guy who grafts nuts to his truck. It's about sucking in some silver tier lady and you're inside of me now. It's about helping snake women.
It's about hugs.
It's about hugs.
Hugs from every which way and sort.
It's about a man who rides his horse despite the horse being really tired and old, but learning gravity magic so he can still ride it and not getting the fact that the horse could just retire.
Yes. There are other horses.
It's about sex puppets and dungeons.
It's about simps.
It's about
Largely simps.
It's about blimps holding marionettes.
And unfortunately, Godskin apostles, because they still haunt my dreams and I hate them. I see them out the corner of my eye and nothing's safe.
Imitation Godskin.
Ooh.
But yes, thanks for tuning in if you're here. Otherwise, if a tree is in the woods and it fell over, how would you hear me say thank you? That's it. You heard it. Gotcha.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Thank you for listening, motherfuckers. We love you.
Yes.
Y'all are great. Write a review if you've gotten this far. And if you have gotten this far and you don't write a review, are you really supporting the listeners you're enjoying right now? And if you're not enjoying, write a review out of hate.
I mean, I'll still laugh at it, but I mean, at least if you're going to be mean about it, put 5 stars.
I think we're right about things sometimes.
Yeah.
So we are here at the Dogcast. We are talking on our Elden Dogs series. I say my name is Gideon Offneer, and that's my birth name. I also go by Brad sometimes at work, though.
I'm Alexander, and I'm a pot full of people.
You are a pot full of people. Special thanks to our executive producers, Rykard Christianick, Malekith the Black Blade, Blaggard, Big Brian, Jordan Hoslow, Sorceress of Blood, and Festering Fingerprint Phil. We are part of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. If you want access to these episodes well in advance, if you want access to our Discord, access to bonus materials, access to outlines, access to everything in the goddamn world, the Golden Order world, check out patreon.com/HairTheDogcast. We're on social media. We're on everything. And thanks for Oak Brewing for sponsoring this episode.
Yeah, they didn't even know they were sponsoring, but I was like, hey, John, I need some beer for the podcast. And he said, go for it.
Thanks, John. Yeah, cut your content, but let data miners find it so we can talk about it.
Thank you.
Toodles.